Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're so happy to be here today, and we're happy that you're here joining us. I want to say welcome and greetings to each and every one of you on this fabulous, what is it, September 17th. We are alive and well. And I want to say welcome to LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. And we are here. We're here with two ladies, but they're not guests. They are family, and I'm just so grateful to be with them today. I was thinking about a couple of things this morning. It was very emotional today, and I want to play a video that I played the first day I came on. I think that it'll be effective, but I want to encourage those that want to know, is life worth living? And I have my mirror as always. And as I looked in the mirror, I can say, I can look, I can see all the crevices, I can see everything that's wrong. But when I look past those things and see the precious hand of the Father on my life, I know that I have a purpose and I'm alive and well for a certain reason. Can I encourage you today to let you know you're alive for a purpose? And that if you're wondering if you have a reason to live, then you have not fulfilled your purpose yet. And that you were created by the Creator. And one of the things He says is that if I haven't taken you, it's not your time to go. So I want to encourage you today to stay alive, choose to live. Say, I choose to live. And I'm going to play this video. But before we do that, I want to do this little thing here first. If I know where to go. That's not the right one. Okay, let's see if I could do it from here because it's not the right place. Can they see it? What happened?
Oh,
Uh, Happy birthday, Ashley! This week was my daughter's birthday. No, it's no music. I couldn't get that music to work yet. I'm gonna work on it this weekend. But I wanted to say happy birthday to Ashley and tell her we love her, we appreciate her, and that didn't come out right, but it's okay. I
hmm
think she got the understanding of what I was doing. But yeah, she has good morning. All those that have joined us, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So, yes, this week she turned a year older
39.
and 39 years old. Next year she'll be 40. She keeps saying, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be 40." Yeah, you're gonna be 40. But I just think I'm grateful that I'm still alive to see it. My mom wasn't alive to see me when I turned 40. And I'm grateful that I'm here to see every one of their birthdays. I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that I'm here, and I appreciate the fact that they're here too, celebrating life. So I want to say happy birthday to you. I love you.
Thank you,
And
Mom.
as we continue on, let me play this video. Here we go again. Can you hear it that way? You hear me? You hear me? Mhm. You hear me? It's- this is me. Couldn't see it, could you? That same thing happened last time. Okay, let me try it again. So it's not sharing. So I guess we won't be doing that today. I can't get it to share for some strange reason. It worked earlier. So we're going to go on with today. I don't understand what happened. It's on YouTube. Mhm. So, okay, we're going to go on. Like I said, welcome everybody. I welcome the UK. I welcome Pennsylvania. We have from the Pennsylvania, Jersey. Welcome Georgia. Everybody who's on, I want to welcome you today. I'm so glad that you're here with us, and we're back with Ashley J. It's Ashley J's. And I think that she was like, "Y'all better ask me some questions this time." But as I remember, and I'm sure, look, the lady on the other side of the screen, she has notes. She takes notes. so, so she's going to help us out today. But one of the things I want to say is that I appreciate both of you coming on. Wanda, every time I ask her, she's available, and I appreciate that. She has a busy schedule. She has a lot going on, and I wanted to take a moment and just tell us about uh, Miss Wanda, Lady Wanda, and what she has going on in her life. She has this weekend was a very pivot in your life. You graduated, and I want to say
Oh, congratulations.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait, I was like, something happened? What happened? Good
Oh,
morning, everyone. So happy to be here. Thank you, Mr. Leslie, and so privileged to be here with the beautiful Miss Ashley. My name is Wanda Floyd. I am a professional hair care specialist, uh, hairstylist, hairdresser, beautician. That's what I am. I am the mother of 8 beautiful children who are now all grown, except for one who is 18, but that's considered kind of grown too. So
Mhm.
I'm almost done, y'all.
you're almost done.
Almost done.
Good
And
journey.
I am. I graduated this weekend. The first my first degree on to the next.
Yay.
Hallelujah.
That and a great time to have a graduation, right? During
Yes,
this feast. So
that's
good.
right.
Um, but that's the just about me. I'm everything hair, everything business, everything that we need to run professional businesses in the beauty industry. And so I'm here to share and happy to be here. So thank you.
Amen. And you did say you're an instructor as well. Did you say that? Okay.
Yes, I
Yes.
am a beauty instructor. That's why this degree was so important because it would allow me to come from beauty schools and go into the colleges and teach on a professor's level.
Oh,
And
Yes.
wow.
that's what I was excited about because the main goal is to have my own beauty schools with business in the curriculum. So that's what I
Awesome.
want.
Awesome. And I applaud you for reaching your goal,
Mhm.
one goal. And it takes heart. It takes you got to stay with it. You know, you raised 8 children, and now one of the things Alicia said is that uh, she said I don't need no grandchildren right now. She said, when I have grandchildren, they're gonna be like, Mama, look what I did. She's gonna be like, look what I did. She's gonna be showing them her degrees and stuff like that. So she said she's gonna be working just right along with them. So, and you don't have any grandchildren, but I'm just saying that the fact that through all you went through, you had a focus and you kept it, and I applaud you for that. That you didn't give up, that your dreams are still happening. So I do applaud you for that. And over here we have it's Ashley J, and I want her to tell a little bit about herself before we start talking.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley J. I am a relationship and dating coach, a couples therapist, and I do see individuals as well. I have a business called It's Ashley J's, and this is my mama. And what else? I'm a wife, a mother, and so many other things.
Okay, okay. Okay, she's the wife, a mother, and so many other things. Well, thank you, Ashley, for being here with us today. I am so proud of you. You've also Ashley started college at Temple, and
Mm-mm. I first went to
well, yeah,
PCC.
well, she went to community college first, yes, and then she went to Temple. And I remember one day I was praying, and I said, the father said, "You're going to Temple," and she's like, "I don't want to go to no Temple." And she tried all these schools, and the only school that accepted her was Temple. So she started out in Temple, and then she took some time off.
No, I got kicked out. I am very honest about that. I ain't
Come
taking
on, tell the
accountability.
truth, Ash.
Don't make it look sweet.
I
I
was trying
flunked
to.
out, and I'm not ashamed about that. And I was going from school for after that. I didn't go back to school until like 7 years later or something like that.
And it was my prayer that she would go back to school, but and she did, and she has done amazing, and she's getting ready to go for her doctorate. So I'm a proud mama. Adrian has gone back to college finally. She went off to Boston to college and came back pregnant, and now she's decided to go to school and do what she needs to do, two
Oh,
children later. So she has a testimony as well.
She does.
oh,
So I Ashley, I wanted you to come back because we had such a good conversation. We had such a good conversation, and your conversation wasn't finished. You was talking about things in your life that you had to overcome, and you had to put forgiveness in it, and what forgiveness looked like for you. So
Hmm.
well, if I could interject just a
go,
little.
please take over.
Please.
One of the things that stuck out, because you said some really amazing things, but the thing that we wanted to tap into this week was why forgiveness was important to you before you had your child.
That's right. Thank you for
Thank
interjecting,
you.
Miss Wanda,
Because
because
I'm just all thrown off over here.
I'm like, okay, I don't know what I said. Okay. So, I do remember I was telling you guys about my forgiveness journey um before I had Marquise. And it was important for me because I wanted to have peace while I was pregnant with him. Um, I am a very, very big believer that your children feel what you feel while you are carrying them.
They do, yeah.
And I did not, because my prayer for him was that, I wanted him to bring joy and be a blessing to people and all of that. I can't carry anger while I have him inside of me. So it just kind of made sense. Like if I want him to have joy, I need to be joyful. I need to be at peace. So and it worked.
You know what? That's a good point because when I think back to my mom, your
Mhm.
grandmom, and I remember when she said she was mad that she was pregnant with me and she hated the doctor then when the doctor told her she was pregnant, she said, "I hated that doctor and I hated being pregnant with you." So that process of being accepted
Mhm.
started there.
Mhm.
You know, what we carry through our birth is what our children are birthed with. So I think that that's a very vital, important that we understand that if we are angry and they come out angry and you, I don't know why they're so angry. How were you when you conceived them? How were you when they were birthed? What position were you in when your child was birthed? So that's a good point that you
That's
made there.
awesome.
Mhm.
And the fact that you said that your mom said she, say it again, she hated the doctor
She
and
hated the doctor and she was hated that she was pregnant. She was
hated
just mad.
yeah. And so what happens is that throughout her pregnancy, that seed of rejection has
Mm-hmm.
been planted. So before you even get here,
Mm-hmm.
you're already engulfed in rejection.
That's right.
That's a vital point, Ashley, because how were we when we were pregnant? Were
Yeah.
we angry? Were we enraged? Were we in fear constantly? Were
Mm-hmm.
we insecure? Did we feel rejected? Um, were we needing attention? All of these attributes and these feelings happen. We have to look back at when we carried some of our children and let's see, was there any unforgiveness
Right.
while I was carrying this child? Those are very vital points. Ashley, keep going. That's good.
And as you can tell, my mother had unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
She was, and she carried it through life. She tried to kill me twice. She always hated me, you know.
You said that so matter of fact, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's so matter of fact. And
She
she,
tried to kill you.
yeah, twice. And just and she used to just say, I hate you. So but I always took it at, okay, it was something in her, something was going on with her. And that's why, and I, even before she passed, I didn't, I always loved her. I didn't take it, I'm gonna say outwardly, because the more I look at it, it did affect me inwardly.
Mm-hmm.
But outwardly, only thing I wanted for her was to be happy. So I was planning for her to come live with me. I was going to take care of her. I didn't want her to work. I wanted to do everything because I did not want her to leave the earth without being happy, because you could tell she had never been happy in her life. And she she died before that happened. She was in the hospital. She had an operation. I talked to her that night. I was going there the next day to see her. And I talked to the nurse, and the nurse said, "Oh, she's doing good. She's sitting up eating potato chips." And when I talked to her, I said, "I keep calling just because I love you." And she says, "I love you too." Those was our last
That's
words.
good.
Those
That's
were our last words. I had no idea that she was going to pass. So when I talked to the doctor, when I got there, and I said, "Why didn't y'all save her?" He said, "She wouldn't let us. She fought us. She didn't want to live." So those instances.
I think an important part to that story is the reason why she didn't want to live because of the phone call that she
Oh,
had.
she was excited about coming to live with me.
Mhm.
And she was calling me every day. And she spoke to her mother, which is my grandmother. And my grandmother said, "I don't know what you're coming here for. Stay there." I didn't know any of this.
Mhm.
It broke her heart. So my aunt, after she passed, I'm talking to my aunt. She's like, "Yeah, she talked to her mom, and her mom told her, 'Don't come, stay there.'" And after that is when she went into whatever happened. Oh, she had a blood clot. And the blood clot, she wouldn't let them get rid of the blood clot. She no longer wanted to live. So those things are vitally important to someone's life, you
Very.
know. So yeah, yeah. So now I'm seeing there's still some things I need to deal with now that I'm talking about, not that, and I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But even as I'm sitting here, I need to go back to the beginning. and deal with that rejection from a higher level. So yeah, as we're talking about that, I'm seeing some things that,
It's good.
And it's something I want to set a pattern, and this is not a knock towards you, but my grandmother was rejected.
right.
She rejected you.
Hmm.
And then, not that you rejected me, but I went through rejection as well. And that is something that's a generational
Mhm.
pattern that's being passed down through all of us.
Yeah, she's passed down some unhealthy things that it's six of us, and you can see something in each one of us. Yeah. I mean, but we also have some good parts from her.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
We had, when she went into a room, she lit up the room. Everybody was excited she was there. Everything she put her hand to, she was so creative. And you can see that through the children, our lives, but our children have really picked it up. So it wasn't like it was all bad,
no.
but you know, there wasn't a balance either.
Right.
There wasn't a balance either. So yeah.
It's good.
And you know, even though the forgiveness that I did before he was born, that all of that forgiveness had to be done because rejection was mixed in there.
Absolutely.
And that is one thing I never wanted my child to go through. I did not want him to know what it's like to be rejected by people that say they love you.
Mhm.
And that was part of it. And this is case in point. When I had to have a C-section, and that was traumatic. But as they brought him out, I couldn't see him at first. My husband saw him, and when they got him out, he had a smile on his face.
Oh,
He had a smile on his face, and then after that, that's when he started crying. But Tariq said when he first saw him, he had a smile on his face.
yes. That's amazing. You
Mhm.
did the work. And if you can, because some people might need to know, okay, she wanted to make sure she didn't have any unforgiveness before she had her child, but what did she do? So, what did that process of preparing before you have a child, what did that look like?
So we decided to wait 2 years after we got married to have him. I was ready to have a child right away, but I'm glad that I followed, my husband's suggestion, because I would not have been able to be at peace if we did it my way. So, one of the things I did, and I think I said this last time, one of the things I did, I sat down, I actually looked for everybody's email address, and I wrote out letters talking about everything, that occurred, and apologized. I apologized to them, and did not expect anything in return. Did I want it? Sure, but I didn't expect it. And the moment when I did expect it, I became heartbroken. So I had to heal during all of that. And I had to take time. At that moment, I had a relationship with Yahweh, but it wasn't to the extent that I have with him now. So I was listening to him, I was following his lead, but it wasn't as strong as it is now. And that's the part that kind of baffles me, because even though that relationship wasn't that strong, I still was in a place to listen to him and follow his guidance, to ask for forgiveness and to be at peace after sending it. I forget how many people I had to send that thing to. I sent it to quite a few people because I had a lot of.
Ashley, you had no tea for the fever.
I didn't. I ain't cut no tea for the fever, and I had a lot happening and was holding on to a lot. And it's something that honestly I forgave that at that point, but it was something that I had to keep doing. Even the people that oh yeah, I forgive you. I had to keep forgiving them. Couldn't stop because they saw things differently. I had to continue to forgive them.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, you have something, and I want to kind of put a little commercial in here because we're talking about forgiveness and the 1212 community. We're in the 30-day challenge for the 1212 community, and we are dealing with unforgiveness. We're dealing with forgiveness on a lot of this area that we're dealing with you, the person, and what's on the end. What are the things that you need to forgive for? So I want to say that, and if you're interested, I'm gonna put the link in a minute. But if you're interested, just go to the 1212 community and sign up. It'll be worth your while, I promise you. And then I know that Wanda has a book, and I want her to share about her book. It's mine is getting real full right now.
Yes, mine too. So I created this book uh, last year, not even thinking about the time of the year we were coming upon. I just created it for me, and and then I thought, why not share it? And so the book, and it's perfect now because we are in this 30-day challenge. Forgiveness is necessary because forgiveness is going to free you, free your life, and free everybody around you that you deal with.
Mhm.
And so I created this book. It's called I Forgive Me. And it's a time of introspection, reflection, and self examination. And I love the book because the first page says, Today I forgive myself for.
Mhm.
And you can write down what you forgive yourself for. Because first, before we can forgive anybody, we got to forgive ourselves.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you write it out. It says write it out. And the next page is I examine. So that's when you examine yourself and the things that you've done and the things that you need to repent for and all of that. And then finally on the last page, the next page, we have the prayer. And it's a journal. So you have this all the way through. You can use it as much as necessary. Um, but it's been a great tool in my life as we introspect now. I have to pick that book up every day and write something else in it. And then I pray it out and give it to Yahweh. I forgive myself, and then I give it to Yahweh. And so
Mhm.
um, I think it's a great tool that everybody can use. And if you want it, it will be on my website for you to purchase.
What's your website?
www.wandafloyd.com. Real simple.
Real simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm moving too slow.
And I'm doing it with one hand.
All right, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. So I wish Alicia would pop on and
Yes,
just talk
yes.
about unforgiveness. I see she's in the chat, but uh, maybe next week or something we can get her to come on and talk about it. We
Yeah, she's
just
been
finished
giving
the
some
first week
powerful
of it.
points
Yeah.
about the necessity of forgiveness.
Yes, 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 yes. So we can continue our conversation. Um,
Well, I hope I answered the question. Did
You
I?
did.
Okay.
You did. Because sometimes people don't understand what the process looks like. And literally you have to think about um, those areas of forgiveness, whether it's on your part or if it's just them. You need to it's a good thing to sit down and write it out.
Mhm.
And and it's good to revisit because, like you said, when it was brought to some people, their perspective was different, and so now that's another blow. And so,
Mhm.
right, you're supposed to get this now, and now that's another blow. So I got
Mhm.
to re-forgive. I got to forgive
Yep.
again. And that's the part about forgiving. It's an ongoing process. It really is. Yes.
It is. And one thing about your book that I meant to say is that we don't hold on to those pages.
No.
Mhm.
Very good.
You're able to rip them out, rip it up after you, well, in this case, after you say your prayer and then get rid of it. So we are
Absolutely.
in the season now, which coming up to Yom Kippur. Um, yeah, and talking about forgiveness. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I also can say that there's people that I have asked for forgiveness from. They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, had that type of whatever attitude. So there's nothing we can do about how they feel or accept it. We just have to make sure our heart is right and how we accept it.
Absolutely.
They're not going to always receive it because they have forgiveness to do. And until they let go of it, they're going to hold on to it. So the chains that you have against them is released when you ask for forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It involves that peace that
Mhm.
Ashley talked about. She wanted peace. She
Mhm.
wanted to bring her child here in peace. She wanted him to enter this earth with joy. Joy is different from happiness.
Yes.
We
Joy
don't,
is so much different
the
from happiness.
joy of the Lord, the
Yes.
joy of Yahweh.
He never said
It,
anything about happiness.
Mhm.
Happiness is based on the condition,
right.
a temporary condition, right? Joy can be everlasting. Joy doesn't change because of what you're going through if you remember that. And
Right.
so she didn't say she wanted him to come and be happy. She said, I wanted him to come in peace. I wanted him to come in joy. And so she prepared her body. She prepared her body mentally, emotionally, and physically to carry this gift from Yahweh because that's what it is. It's a
Mhm.
gift that He gives us that we're responsible for. And how many of us have taken the time to prepare ourselves to incubate this beautiful gift that Yahweh has given us because it's just that serious. Saying, I want him to be in peace, I want him to have joy. He dare not come here and experience the spirit of rejection that
Mhm.
I've dealt with, that my mom, my grandmother, probably her mother has dealt with.
She
It
did.
stopped at me.
Yeah.
And that's the way we have to approach this forgiveness. Yes, our children are here now, but we got grandbabies that are going to come, and we have to say, it stops here. And that's why this tool of forgiveness is so important because we have lived our lives with unforgiveness
With
Yeah.
unforgiveness.
and going about our daily kingdom lives with unforgiveness. How many times have we served with people knowing we didn't like them, knowing we were mad at each other? How many times have we seen it over the pulpit and being preached about and all of this going on? But yet we love Yahweh.
Yeah.
So I love what you said, Ashley. You wanted him to come in peace.
And yeah, and to you was talking about that that joy comes from a relationship with Elohim. It comes from an inward place. We can't say just because we hear I got joy that I have joy. It had your relationship and how you are created to fellowship with him, come into covenant with him, is where that joy comes from. Happiness is the world's term. You can happiness comes and goes, but
Absolutely.
joy is an experience, is a way of life because you choose to accept the Father and his way of living. So if for those that are saying, well, how do you get joy? Your joy comes when you start. It starts with you. It starts with you dealing with yourself. It starts with you forgiving yourself. It starts with you having a relationship, a bona fide relationship with the Father. You know, when you think of joy, and I just was looking at this, it says it's brought to fullness when we accept his provision of righteousness by grace that reunites us so we can enjoy his presence, the presence of the Lord that's inside of us. If you're just saying, quoting scriptures, and you're just not really having a relationship with Him or allowing Him to change your life, that joy, that fullness of joy, you will never have. You have to understand that there's a part of it that comes from having a relationship with the Father. Some of them say Jehovah, some of them say God, some of you say Abba, but with Elohim, Yahweh, I want to say um, allowing Adonai to, which is the Son, to be a part. He said you can only come to the Father through
Yes.
Him. So we have to make sure that we have everything in order. You can't just listen to us and say, oh, I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with this and I'm going to run and enjoy. No, it's it's you have to humble yourself. You have to. There's a word and I can't think of it. You have to put yourself in a position to follow the instructions. He has instructions laid out for us, and his first instruction is to come sit with him. And we sit in the Sabbath, so we're understanding things differently than before we were. I'm going to say we we understand what he means when he says, "Come and sup with me and delight in me." It's that delight that brings the joy. He says, "When you delight in me, I will delight in you. I will allow my joy to be released into you." And so many are out there, and you're contemplating, how do I get joy? How do you have to come to the Father? That's the first step. You cannot do this on your own. It's important. It's
Good
important
job.
um, that you understand. He says you first have to come to me. That joy that you want comes from him.
I want to add something. I was not a willing participant. Okay. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. I was not a willing participant. I would take the hurt that people caused me and say it fueled me to be a certain way. It fueled me to do a certain thing. But it was fueling me, but it was fueling me in the wrong direction. I was not a willing participant when he told me to ask these people for forgiveness. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Because some of the stuff, some of the offenses were I took it as lifetime offenses. But he worked on me and kept, like he kept talking to me, telling me, you gotta do it. And I'm like, okay. Finally wore me down and I did it. But I was not a willing participant, y'all. It
That's
wasn't sunshine and rainbows. I was like,
And she was be
no.
mad at me because I would forgive people, and she would be mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
She would be
That's
mad.
good. Yeah, we talked about um, Jonah yesterday.
Oh yeah.
We talked about Jonah and Sabbath yesterday, and him running from, you know, going being the prophet to go to tell the people to repent, you know, and Yahweh, he forgave them, right? And Jonah was hot.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? What? You
Mm-hmm.
what? Okay, I told him, but for real, you really gonna do this? He was hot, you know, and sometimes we feel justified.
We
I have
do.
a right to be mad. I have a forgive. I'm the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. No, no, that's not possible. Yeah, I'm taking this one to the grave. I've said that. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking this one to the grave.
Yep.
About to bust hell wide open, taking stuff with gasoline draws on and roller skates. About to bust hell wide open, taking unforgiveness to the grave because I
Yep.
felt justified in how I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know what? When I do counsel with people and they say that, I say you take your moment, but get over yourself.
Hmm.
You want to go ahead, take your little moment, but I want you to get over yourself because it's not about you and your healing that you need. What you talking about taking to the grave? You're not gonna get that healing you want. You're not gonna get that peace you want,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not gonna get that happiness you want.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So yeah, go ahead and when people call me and they're upset, I'm like, okay, you got that minute. Take that minute, get yourself together, because it's not about you.
I mean, it's not about you, but it's for you.
For
Yeah.
you, yeah,
It's for you. It's for
right.
your freedom. It's for your life. It's for, like you said, your peace, your joy. Um, it feels so much better when you release it and let it go,
Yeah.
you know? And I like what you said, Ash, when you said you forgave without expectancy.
Yeah.
A lot of us can't do that because
Right.
we do it expecting them to say, okay, so this was my part in it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I recognize that I did this and I did that and I should have. And sometimes it goes that way, but other times it does not go that way. So that's why we know forgiveness is a choice
Mm-hmm.
that we have to make. And like you said, you wasn't a willing participant. But what helps the process is our relationship with Yahweh. Because if we did not have that relationship, I know if I didn't have that relationship, I would have held on to a lot of things. Some of the hardest people to forgive, my love for him and his love for me helped me to do that. It gave me the
Mm-hmm.
strength to do that because there have been some serious offenses in my life that were not easy for me to just say, okay, I forgive you. Mm-mm.
Yep.
That was like chewing on steel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were some of the hardest things when you started forgiving Ashley? What were some of the hardest things? Or if there was like one that was just the hardest for you, and how did you get through that?
Um, the hardest one. I definitely had one that surprised me, but I'm trying to think which one was the
Well,
hardest.
talk about the one that surprised you.
Yeah, because I don't think I know that one.
Um, let me see how I could say this. One of the people that I asked for forgiveness, was somebody I absolutely felt like they should be asking me for forgiveness. Um, I should not be the one to make the first move in this situation. But it was a co-parenting situation. And when I sent the message and asked for forgiveness, this person surprised the pants off of me and said to me, you know what, please forgive me for the things that I did. And that relationship, it kind of changed a little bit. There's still instances when old habits revert back, but that was the most surprising because we were going to battle. We were going to battle. So that one surprised me. And I'm not talking about that as freely because I have not had a discussion to say whether I can speak freely on it. But that was a person that surprised me. Um, the one that was the hardest, I honestly don't know because all of it was hard to me. I really don't know. Mm, I don't know.
I think
Well,
that I
if they were all hard, what's the greatest lesson you learned from forgiving?
Well, I can tell. I'll tell y'all this. I kind of mentioned it last week, and I'm gonna try to talk about it without crying. But the hardest one was with my god sister because, like I shared with y'all, she died, and I had no idea that she was as sick as she was. That one hit me the hardest because I didn't talk to her for like a year, and just her finding out the day she died that she died from cancer, that took all the wind out of me. And my mom can tell you it took me a minute to get over that one. um so I would say that was the hardest for me. But the lesson that I learned was from that situation.
Mhm.
And if there's something that I need to get settled with someone, or try not to let these things linger on for too long. You don't know how long you're going to be here. What? Oh. Try not to let these things linger on for too long because, we could go at any moment.
Yeah.
And stop letting hurt be your fuel. I had to I had to learn a new way of living, completely new. And then things continue to happen. Like forgiveness is not like a magic wand that you use it and
right.
you won't ever have to forgive anybody ever again. It is the exact opposite. I still had stuff that hit me left and right after that.
Mhm.
And I had to learn to forgive. I could not hold on to that stuff.
Yeah. And one of the things Ashley is a fixer. She thinks when I tell you something that's supposed to help you, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's it. She's a fixer. So if she's trying to fix something, you're not listening, then that affects her. But one of the things I thought about when she said, one of the things that the enemy will do
Mhm.
is that when you forgive someone and you try to get over it and you try to have a relationship with that person, calling them or something, he'll try to remember what they did now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, he'll always try to make you feel like you got to hang on to that, but you got to let it go. You got to let it go. And then in the process of letting it go, and it might take you a moment or so, but in that process, you begin to get more and more peace and more and more peace. And then after a while, it won't be an issue. Once you really let it go, that's when it's no longer an issue. But as long as you hold on to it and you start pondering,
Yes.
about the what happened. He
Mhm.
said, he that looketh back to the plow. Every time we look back at something, it hinders our walk with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful of that. Yeah, forgiveness is something that I've always tried to do. Maybe because of what I went through, I've always tried to make that first place. Um, Even when someone crushed me,
Mm.
even when someone, come up against me or tear me down, I always tried to overlook that and forgive them. Sometimes it's hard because they're coming back and
Mhm.
they're going to have the same attitude. But after a while, this is one of the things, and I'm gonna let you. I know you have something to say, Wanda. This is one of the things we have to understand, that people go through things too,
Yeah.
and that sometimes they attack you. That attack might not be really towards you,
Mm-hmm.
but you can become offended by it because sometimes we're in a low place.
Yeah.
And when they attack you at that time, it's like, bingo, I gotta. And it's not them, but it's the enemy
Yeah.
that has tried to come against you. So we have to understand there's so many different avenues that unforgiveness comes from. It's not all just flat footed. When I say that, it's because there's so many different angles to it. Someone could be hurt because somebody else hurt them, but they want you to hurt because they hurt.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So then they lash out at you and put you in a place of unforgiveness because now you're hurt. And it's a cycle. It's a
Continuous
cycle.
cycle.
And until we get a handle on that cycle, that same thing will continue to attack us.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making a whole
Yeah,
lot of sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's a scripture that I'm looking at, and it says, these things have I spoken to you, that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be full. Your joy will never be filled without the Father.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And if he can forgive
Yes.
and forget about it, why can't we?
Where did
Somebody
he say
said,
it go it? Where did he say it
Never
goes?
forget.
yeah, you have to. It's imperative that you forgive and you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, because as long as, like Miss Leslie says, as long as the enemy can use it as a tool,
It's a tool.
because that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's using the memory as a tool. But if you dismantle and utterly destroy the tool, then there's nothing for him to use. So
Yes.
that's why we say forgive and forget. You forget to a place where it no longer triggers you. It no longer brings up emotions. And that takes time. That's not something that's going to happen overnight, but
Right.
it takes time. But it's necessary because he does it for us. He is our greatest example
Mm-hmm.
to forgive and forget. And someone, I think you said it, and a few people in the comments have said you forgive 70 times 7. That's in the day. That's today. Each offense, you forgive 70 times 7. So
Yeah.
tomorrow's another day.
Another.
More offenses.
But now listen, let me say this. Tomorrow is a new day.
Yes.
So that everything should starts out as fresh. But this is what I wanted to say to the fact that somebody's saying, well, how do you forget? And you were talking about it, but I want to put this in there. The forget part comes from love.
Mm-hmm.
When you can love that person through the process, it takes it to a whole nother level. And that's where the peace comes from. Long as you hold on to it with grudging or you hold on to it, as an offense, or you hold on to it broken, because now they broke you, and you can't see past that. And that's why you can't get to the place of really forgiving or letting it go, is because you can't see past that. But when you allow that grace of love to overwhelm you with that person, that means you see them from the eye of Yahweh, not from your perspective. And just like he loved you and all your foolishness, all your unforgiveness, and all the things you have done, but he loved you. We have to learn. It doesn't happen overnight. We have to learn
Yes.
how to love the other person the
Yes.
same way. Love covers.
Mm.
Love covers.
A multitude. Come
That's
on.
not just you, that's for the other person as well.
That's good. We got to read the love scripture now because you talked about love. Got to, because it's imperative.
Yeah.
Because Yahweh tells us you can have a lot of things, but without love, it doesn't matter. And like you said, the only way you'll be able to forget and forgive is love. And so 1 Corinthians 13 says, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, love, I am become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profits me nothing. For charity, which is love, love suffereth long and is kind. Love envieth not. Love vaunteth not itself. It's not puffed up. It does not behave itself unseemly. Love does not seek her own. Love is not easily provoked. Love thinks no evil. Love doesn't rejoice in iniquity, but love rejoices truth. Love bears all things, believes all things. Love hopes in all things, and love endures all things. Love never fails. Love never fails. So we
I
can't
wish,
do anything.
yeah. There's another one that I was looking at in Philippians 2 1 and 2. And it says, so if there is any encouragement in Yeshua, in Christ, any comfort from love, any participation in the participation in the spirit, any affection and sympathy, complete my joy by being of the same mind, having the same love, being in full accordance and of one mind. It all centers around love.
Every time.
Every time. How can you forgive? Mhm. That's good.
Forgiveness is love.
Love. Forgetting is love.
Wow.
And I think the greatest example we see today,
Woo.
Ashley loving her baby, loving her husband, loving herself, loving this baby before this baby was even conceived.
Yeah.
To say, this is how I want our child brought into this earth in
Yeah.
love. So
And
she
you know what he
she
does?
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. You know what he does? They'll be
What?
sitting around watching TV, and I hear him. I love you, mommy. I love you, daddy.
He tells me I love you.
Anytime,
Yeah, he says I love you to
anytime he
me a
just jumps
hundred
up.
times a day.
I love you. I love you. He'll come up. He'll hug me. I love you, my mom. I love you too. And that is anytime. I mean, you could be sitting and all of a sudden he's like, I love you. You know, it's in him.
Hmm.
It's in him.
I this I had to pray for him the way I did. I had to pray his characteristics to so they manifest within him when he got here. Um, because I knew how special he was. I knew that he was. I always treated him as if he was a gift. Because it could have been very easily not me to have him. I could have gone through infertility issues and all of that. That could have happened. But everything about him from the time he was conceived until today, everything about him um, is God sent. Everything.
And but you know what? That's a true fact for everybody and their children. If you don't understand that you're and I'm gonna let Wanda close us out, but if you don't understand that your child is a gift, that you got that it was your child was purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about how it happened, but I'm talking about how it was the purpose of God. If you don't understand that and you're always grudging and hating, then you need to go to Elohim, get in his face and understand that that's a gift. Just like breathing is a gift,
Mm-hmm.
every child you bring into this, it doesn't matter the trauma that they have seen and it seems like they're wayward. You got to see the beauty in them. Most times children are like that because they don't understand what's inside of them. I don't know, Wanda's, are you frozen, Wanda? Wanda's frozen. So please realize when you look at that child of yours next time, see the beauty in that child. See the gift that you have been given and begin to operate from that aspect. I don't know if Wanda knows she's frozen or not, but you go ahead, Ashley. You was going to say something.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, even after he was born, um, wherever we went, people would just random people would just come up to me and say, "Oh, he's important. He's going to be a somebody powerful." Just randomly, we could just be sitting down. I'm rocking him or whatever, and if it, and I'm saying that because um, that's everything that Abba told me he was going to be. Everything. Um, I knew about him before he was he even came to me. I'll say that. I knew that there was a certain way I needed to raise him. I knew that it was a lot that was shared with me, um, and a way that I had to raise him in order for him to be who Abba said he was going to be, someone of power, someone of strength. So yeah, he's special.
So this was a good show.
It was.
I think that there was some good points brought out, and I think that it's going to help me. It has helped me. It has helped me deal with some and stop with the. We are on a challenge. Me and
As you
Tiffany.
say, again.
But we 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 have to understand that things, what they say, still waters run deep.
Mhm.
Unforgiveness runs deep. It runs real deep.
Mhm.
And you got to conquer it with forgiveness. But you have to begin to address it with love. If you don't address it with love, if you can't address it with love, then you'll never see the real fruits of it. And it'll always come back. And it'll always, in the process of coming back, it will always bring you to a place that you um, are hitting your head against the wall, or you keep going around it's that same issue because you never addressed it with love. So I
Mhm.
want to encourage you today to address your issues with love. Begin to see from not your lens, but from the lens of Elohim, who that person is and what he's trying to do with you. It's very important that you understand that you have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And until you let it go, you're not going. So I'm going to let Wanda close us out. She's back now. And thank you. Thank you. Wait. Thank you, Ashley. I'm so proud of my daughter. I am. Let me tell you, that forgiveness thing was a long haul.
It
It was
was.
a long haul. And I didn't know what to say. She come at me and she would be mad, not mad at me, but talking about the situation. The only thing I could do was point her back to God. And she was like,
That ain't what I want to hear.
and sometimes I'll be like, oh, Father, I don't even know what to say to her. And the only thing he told me to do, he said, just keep illustrating it. Just keep illustrating it. So that's the only thing I could do was, look, she got her lips turned up, was keep
I'm
illustrating it.
smiling.
But yeah, and I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. And the reason why I come on, and I'm gonna let you go, Wanda. The reason why I come on, and I even do this, is because of the love that Yahweh has for your life, that He wants you to begin to see that you are valuable, that you are loved, and you have somewhere to go. And all these things, these issues that are stopping you, He wants you to let it go so that you can be released to go where He wants you to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to encourage you today. When you see us on Sunday, it's because we love Him and because He tells me, keep going. I said to him this morning, I said, now, if you want me to stop, you can tell me. He said, did I ever tell you to stop? So here we are today. You have any last words, one?
Just thank you for uh, this opportunity to speak with Ashley and you. And Ashley, thank you for giving us another tool, another key to helping us to forgive and forget. Uh, if we walk away with nothing else today, and I heard you talking about it as I was frozen and got kicked off, and um, it's love.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I didn't realize until we started talking about it. That's what's going to help us
Yeah.
love and loving His way. So this has been phenomenal, powerful. Thank you for helping us, Ashley, by sharing your story.
Thank y'all for listening.
So we're going to let you go now. Tuesday, Anna be on me. I seen Anna was on. Hey, from Brooklyn. Brooklyn's in the house. She's going to be on with me Tuesday. We're going to be talking about organizing um, your medical things. Talking about getting that in order, so that you'll have that in order. No one has to look for it. They don't know if you have this, you have that. Everything will be in one place. So we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. Next Sunday, it'll be Wanda and I. As far as I know, that's all. We'll be here still talking about forgiveness. And every week I'm saying, well, can we get off of forgiveness now? He's like, not yet, not yet. So we'll be back here next week talking about forgiveness. Until we meet again, stay faithful and love somebody, not with your mouth, but with your heart.
Mm.
Have an amazing day. God bless you.